looking at the technological advances. I used to be on dial-up looking for...
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. We got to talk about Raw from August the 16th, 2021. I wanted to give this show the respect it deserves and to burn through it as fast as possible using my impact clock. But the RK Bro stuff is worth slowing down to talk about. That's about the only thing that's worth slowing down to talk about. But and maybe Goldberg's promo. But so Randy Orton and Riddle. So I'm going to try to get through this as fast as possible. So Randy Orton says he didn't want any help, doesn't need any help, doesn't need any friends. And he's going to beat Almost by himself. Riddle comes out there and says, oh, yeah, oh, well, bro, you gave me an RKO last week, bro. You were trying to teach me how to do an RKO, bro. To which, Randy thought this thick brain idiot, just I have no use for him. So then Riddle challenged AJ Styles and Randy Orton walked off, left him alone. Riddle loses. And then they pummel him after the match. Nothing happens. They just beat him up after the match. So Riddle is very, very sad that he got abandoned by his good friend, Randy Orton, who he thought it was his good friend, and he was he was legit sad, and he made everybody else sad too, because so he was really upset that Randy didn't want to stay and be in his corner. So he moped out and he left. So Randy Orton wrestled Omos, and Omos previous said that he's going to kill the Legend Killer, and AJ Styles says he defeated that moron Riddle. Now he's the moron killer. So they plan to beat up on Randy Orton. So they fight Randy Orton. Omos catches Randy Orton's punch. It was a choreographed spot, which Omos blew, of course. They do a feat of strength, which of course Omos wins. He does some very basic stuff like a power slam and a clothesline. He ends up tossing Randy Orton outside the ring. AJ Styles tries to distract the ref. Well, the ref is kind of distracted, but he kicks Randy Orton, gets caught, gets disqualified. They say, fuck it, we're going to beat up Randy Orton anyway. They throw him around, beat him up, and then Riddle makes the save, and Riddle gets a huge reaction. This is the reaction that you're supposed to get when you have heroes doing hero shit. Even though he was a little bit late. He let Randy get thrown around a little bit. He built up some anticipation. Then he came out there and saved him. He did this knee strike on AJ Styles where AJ bounced off the rope and then flopped face front and then and he was dead. So Omos pulled him out of the ring and put him over his shoulder. Then Randy Orton says that respect is earned, and that after everything he's done to Riddle, after walking out on him, after giving him an RKO, Riddle still came out there and helped him. So he's like, okay, RK Bro is back, and we will be challenging for the tag team championship at SummerSlam. Okay, this was fine. If they have let RK Bro dominate the show for 2 weeks now, and it's showing as far in terms of people being invested in this storyline, and it's the first time I think people have been really invested in a tag team title match in quite a while. I'm talking like real emotional investment. I'm like talking about people really, really, really being into a tag team title match. I can't think of the last time that a tag team title match had this much importance. So this was good. They did a great job here. But this was pretty much the only thing they did a good job with all night. The second thing that I think they did a good job with was Goldberg's promo. So let's talk about that. So Goldberg cuts this promo, and he's talking about his son. It brings things full circle. When Goldberg first started wrestling matches again, I think it was 2017, 2016 maybe. And his son was, a little fat tree stump of a boy. And he hadn't watched his dad work live. And so Goldberg was like, I wanted to just show my son, what I used to do. And now he says, he looks at his son, he says, hey, you can look at videos now of what I used to be. He says, but I want you to see firsthand who your father is. And for me, that was such a powerful moment. Look, it's hard to really get me, emotionally invested in wrestling shit because it's all goofy and stupid. But this felt like it was from the heart. It felt like he really meant it. And it's sad when you see what's going to happen to him, because I'm almost certain Lashley's just going to smash him in like 2 minutes, you know. But and that's what his son is going to see, is that his dad is just a guy Bobby Lashley crushes in 2 minutes and makes submit. And maybe he won't submit. Maybe he'll get speared and pinned or something like that, or get beat with a power slam or something. But in any event, Goldberg wants to really impress upon his son who he is, and really show his son, a legacy, and have something, not just a past, but a present as well. And that's very meaningful to me. I love this promo, Lashley and MVP. And I love the MVP's opening segment where he says, like, there's a lot of uncharacteristic talking from Goldberg. Like, usually we don't let Goldberg talk this much. It's almost like you're overcompensating for something. And then he talks about how, he barked up the wrong tree this time with this Lashley thing. Lashley's going to dominate him. Then Lashley says that you're in the house of the Almighty. Goldberg calls bullshit. Lashley tries to throw a punch. He gets speared. Goldberg gets to stand at the end of the show with his son. His son's flexing and everything. It's a real feel-good moment. He kind of showed his son who he was, or who he is, in this particular segment. He's the man who calls bullshit on dominant, characters like Lashley, and still says he still got it. He's still kind of delusional, that he's just not, Goldberg is the only one that doesn't think Goldberg is old at this point, But I thought this was great. I thought the Goldberg promo was really well done. I thought it was well structured. I thought it was well delivered. I think he believed it, therefore it made more sense. And so those two matches are okay. I think those two matches are very worthy of being on SummerSlam. They're very well built. So Amos and AJ Styles versus Randy Orton and Riddle. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to Goldberg versus Lashley. That's the only thing I care about from the Raw side of this card. Everything else on this show is booty butt cheeks rematches. Everything else is fucking rematches or some variation of something we have already seen. Now, I'm not going to go through any detail through the rest of this shit. All I'm going to, because, it's just not worth it. All we need to talk about is that Nikki Cross lost twice in one night. She got a stink face from Nia Jax. She lost clean to Rhea Ripley. And then her and Rhea Ripley was forced to tag team together. And then she got a stink face from Nia Jax. And then Rhea Ripley got beat. So both Rhea and Nikki both lost. And Rhea won and lost. Look, this is horrible writing. I'm not even going to use the word booking because I think sometimes people overuse that term. I'm just going to use writing. If you were trying to write a hero, you cannot write the hero worse than the way they've been writing Nikki Cross. She's repetitive in what she says. She literally has no second sentences outside of, if you believe in yourself, you have confidence in yourself. And it's like, she just says the same thing over and over again. She's like a toy, like a Tickle Me Elmo or something. Like you just pull the string and she just says the same fucking 4 sentences all over and over again. It's the shits. Rhea Ripley literally says almost nothing. Charlotte wins all the fucking time. I hate fucking triple threat matches. The concept of, it's going to be a triple threat match at the pay-per-view. Therefore, we got to have every single variation of the match take place in the weeks leading up to it. It's like, by God, you've blown off all the fucking heat by that point. There's no reason, no interest to be had. And then, I'm not jumping all over the place, but back to the way they've been writing Nikki. It's the stupidest fucking thing in the world to write your hero to take 3 or 4 clean fucking losses in the hope that one big win will get them over. No, that is not how you write a heroic character. That's not how you write anybody. You don't have Nikki get pinned clean by Charlotte, get pinned clean by Rhea, and then think, she's going to win at SummerSlam. It's not going to be a big deal. What the fuck? Nobody cares. At that point, you'd have beaten her to paste. Nobody even has any faith in her. How she have any faith in herself? You have to take the crowd along with us, with it. You have to take the crowd with you. You can't just just have the heroes get beat down and left flattened every fucking week, and then hope like, oh, you're gonna come out in the end like a real hero. It's like, come on, man, this is dumb as shit. This is dumb as fuck. Why would you ever write anybody like that? And the fact that they even bothered to do that to her is fucking embarrassing. It's shameful. And everything about Raw is shameful, if we're being honest. Even the vignettes were reruns. They ran the Elias promo again. And I thought that's all they were going to do. Of course, we got some progress with Elias, where they had the Tombstone 2017 and 2021 with Elias. And I was just kind of like, okay. He says music has failed me. So, he's not going to play music anymore. That's good. Of course, we're not going to know where it's going yet. He still has the same look. So I'm thinking maybe, what is he going to do? He's going to shave. He's going to grow his hair out. What is he going to do? We don't know yet. We haven't even gotten as much as a hint of what they're going to do. The only other original thing that took place is they started planting the seeds of John Morrison and The Miz breaking up. The Miz, of course, was faking his injuries for who knows how long. Damian Priest, for some reason, is still super glued. It's like, brother, where art thou? Where since fucking January, it's been 7 fucking months of goddamn Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. 7 months. 7 months. And you would think that they were building to fucking war to settle the score or some shit like that. And it's no, they just keeps beating these fucking guys on Raw over and over and over again. It's ridiculous, bro. Like, it is the dumbest shit in the world that we got to keep watching these same motherfuckers do the same shit over and over again. It's Groundhog Day. It's not even Groundhog Day. They might as well just sell USA Network fucking reruns. I mean, the channel is mostly reruns anyway. It's reruns of Chicago PD, reruns of fucking Law and Order. Just put reruns of fucking Raw. Since you don't want to, I mean, like I said on Twitter, and this is the truth, they have turned Raw into the house show loop. It's the same fucking card everywhere, just a different city. The same fucking card, Jeff Hardy versus Karrion Kross. Same fucking card, different city. It's stupid. It's stupid. It makes you not even want to watch this shit. It's impossible to watch and enjoy it. It's impossible. You can't just be like, oh, well, it was a good episode of Raw. Good? You literally just watched pieces of this show every fucking Monday for the last 3 months. This shit is horrible. It's horrible. I did a list of people who are not on this show, and who have not been on the show. Some of them haven't been on the show in several weeks. Ricochet, Humberto Carrillo, Angel Garza, Lindsay Dorado, Grand Metalik, Asuka, Drew Gulak, who else? Shayna Baszler. This list was made before Nia Jax showed up, because she would have been on the list. That's 8 or 9 people, but we have to have another Mason T-Bar match so they can wrestle Mansoor. Like, what the fuck? Why? The Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods didn't wrestle on this show. They appeared backstage, hanging out behind John Morrison and The Miz as they were doing some stupid shit. I know I got off of that subject real quick. I don't even give a fuck anymore. Who cares, right? It ended up with Damian Priest wrestling The Miz. Do I need to sit down and have a in-depth conversation about that shit again? No, we talked about that match 100 fucking times. Fuck that match. This ain't the typical review. Fuck that match. They've done that match 100 times already. I don't give a fuck who won or who lost. You can shoot both of them bitches into space. I don't care. All right? Same thing with Karrion Kross and Jeff Hardy. It's the 3rd fucking match. Are you serious? 3 times in 5 weeks? That's most weeks. And they're not even promoting TakeOver. He's just on the show. Kross is just on the show. Like a regular. Now, I did enjoy Jeff Hardy's promo before the match, though. I thought it was probably one of the better Jeff Hardy promos. He's a little bit more comfortable talking now. But it didn't mean anything. He lost in like 37 seconds, which is, the appropriate way to book Karrion Kross, and really how he should have been booked from the beginning. But, it's ridiculous. Drew McIntyre pulled his sword on Veer and Shanky and beat up those guys, and the whole thing with gender has been an abortion. It's not going anywhere. This thing could have had some heat. It could have been dope. They decided to fuck it up and turn it into a joke where, now it's Jinder Mahal being very, very scared of the sword. And it's leading nowhere. There's no stakes. There's nothing on the line. And it's dumb. It's just dumb. It's not even real. There's no heat to it because Drew McIntyre keep beating these guys up every week. You know, these are two big dudes. I remember when big dudes used to act, even though Drew was a big guy, I remember when big dudes used to get treated like big dudes. Now they're getting treated like they're fucking Sunil and the other one Singh, you know? They just get tossed around and dropped on their head and shit. It's like, God damn. Like, are you serious? Like, fuck this. I mean, at least Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal haven't been fighting 100 times, but they've already had their match. So it's like, it's basic booking one-on-one, man. The more contact you have, the less excitement there is when the fight is supposed to happen. It's stupid. It's all stupid. And there's nothing to look forward to. There's literally nothing to look forward to outside of the 2 segments that I talked about at the early part of this show. There's nothing to look forward to at SummerSlam. You know, Damian Priest and Sheamus, okay, you know, but they had made Damian Priest so uninteresting to me because the only thing, it seems like once he wins the belt, and he probably will win it, it's just going to be him versus John Morrison, him versus The Miz, or him versus Sheamus going through the loop from here until fucking October or something like that. The show is painful to watch, man. It is painful to watch. Even more painful to try to get anything out of to review because most of the characters are not used. And therefore they're not developed. And then the ones who are used are not appropriately developed. It's like Muhammad, I'm about to call him Muhammad Ali, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. You know, Mustafa Ali is smiling now. He just lost last week. Why is he smiling? Why is he okay with losing? You know, it's dumb. You know, Mason T-Bar can't talk. Why are they even on this show? Like, there are so many people missing. Like, I'm okay with Mason T-Bar being on the show. I truly am. But fuck, why are they wrestling the same 2 guys for a month? Why? It's so fucking lazy. Where is everybody? What are they doing? It's almost as if they are sacrificing Raw. And, you know, they're not doing a similar, you know, it's kind of the similar thing to SmackDown because they did, you know, Nakamura and Baron Corbin 100 times in the course of a week or a month or something like that. I think they did maybe 3 out of 4 weeks. It was Baron Corbin and Nakamura. I know there was a bunch of Big E and Apollo Crews matches. There's, of course, been a ton of Mysterios and Usos matches. I mean, come on. They're just taking the starch out of everything. Anything that might be remotely interesting. They've just taken the absolute starch out of it. You know, it makes you not at all impressed in the pay-per-views because you're like, okay, I can't get involved with this shit. You know, the only way to truly be excited for SummerSlam is to just say, oh, John Cena versus Roman Reigns. And you saw those 2 guys have a match in 3 or 4 years, and that's it. You know, if you don't follow the shows, that's all you're really watching SummerSlam for, then everything else is new to you because you don't watch Raw and SmackDown. And I think that's pretty much what they're trying to get to. They're trying to get to a point where people don't watch Raw and SmackDown. They just watch the pay-per-views. Because the pay-per-views are apparently where the money is. You know, get those Peacock streams. Who gives a fuck whether you watch TV or not? You know? So, you know, it's depressing. But I'm not going to waste my time trying to review an irreviewable show. You want to know what I feel about Morrison and Miz and all that shit, man? Who cares? You know? They had a segment and neither one of them have a match. Why the fuck do Miz and Morrison have a TV segment? They don't have a match to sell. Promos are supposed to sell a match, not just to exist to do silly shit and do jokes and stuff. That's it. Oh, I forgot. Reggie. Okay, so I did like the Reggie in the park segment. Reggie was talking about being a kid in the park and, you know, he likes to go there to reflect and to gather himself and do all that stuff. And Reginald was in the park, and I think it was Tozawa that was in the garbage, and R-Truth was wearing like a grass suit, and they both was trying to catch on to him, and he did like a little trick on the tree to dodge Tozawa, and then he, you know, dodged Truth and ran around the trees, ran around the park. Then he did a little leap over his car to get back to the car and said it was too easy to get away from these guys. Like, it's complete Looney Tunes dumb shit. But at least it was different. At least it was on a different location. They got to do some cool tricks. You know, it was funny. I enjoyed it. At least that was fine. Everything else on this show, outside of 3 things, out of a 3-hour show, 3 segments, well, I guess you could say 3 stories, were actually good. Everything else was absolute basura. And it makes me not want to watch SummerSlam, to be quite honest. My excitement for SummerSlam is in the toilet. It's in the toilet. And it's mainly because of Raw. It's embarrassing. But thank you guys for listening. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Old non-aggression. Once that lesson sets in, you'll see a session where you got an affection for no progression, regression.